Yo, what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name's Luke. Today I'm coming at you to talk about this Panthers and Bears trade that literally just happened. Before that, just make sure you drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. There's gonna be fantasy content coming this entire off season, getting everybody ready. So make sure you stay around for that, but let's get right into this trade. And like I said, this literally just happened, so I haven't really had time to process it or think about it. I'm just giving my initial thoughts and opinions on this. So forgive me if it's a little kind of all over the place, but it literally just happened and I want to get a video out as quick as possible. So first, let's go from the Carolina perspective. It makes a lot of sense. They moved up from 9 all the way to 1, which is a huge jump. They gave the Bears that first round pick, another first round pick, and then 2 second round picks and DJ Moore. So obviously they're just completely rebuilding. They have barely any weapons anymore. No CMC, no DJ Moore. They don't have a quarterback, which is obviously who they're going to be taking with this first overall pick. So it is a complete rebuild. I don't know exactly who they have in mind. I don't know if they know who they have in mind, but obviously it's going to be one of Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, or Anthony Richardson. I still assume that it's probably going to be Bryce Young, but that's just something we don't know right now. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see what actually goes on in the draft. But obviously they're taking a quarterback and they had to get ahead of the Texans and the Colts. So the Carolina Panthers are in a full rebuild this year. It'll be interesting to see what else they do, but it just doesn't seem like there's going to be much there that's going to be worth almost anything in fantasy this upcoming season. I wouldn't be surprised if they do take some weapons a little bit later in the draft, since they really just don't have anybody right now. So they traded away an absolute haul to get this pick, but it makes sense because they probably weren't going to get one of the guys that they really wanted. Possibly Anthony Richardson could have fallen to them all the way at pick 9, but with how he performed, it could be very unlikely. And now I think it really puts a lot of pressures on the Colts to move up to number 3 probably, because 1 and 2 aren't going to trade. They both need quarterbacks, the Carolina Panthers and the Texans. But the Cardinals don't need a quarterback, and if somebody else wants to trade up and get one of those top 3 guys, and they definitely can be. And with the Colts at 4, who are definitely quarterback needy, it's going to be interesting to see if they actually pull that trigger. Their GM and owner don't really tend to like to do those type of moves, but just given how this is going down, they might not really have a choice. But yeah, really with the Panthers, there's not much else to be said. It's really just a complete full rebuild right now, going to be a brand new quarterback. So it could be any of those top 3 guys, depending on who they think is their best. They might already have their guy in mind. They might not. It could be likely they want to see the pro days and get some longer interviews to really decide on that. I think it's probably going to be Bryce Young, but given it's such a rebuild, there could be some incentive to try to get Anthony Richardson and just have that unbelievable talent there. But who really knows right now? I don't even know if they do, like I said. But now let's move on over to the Bears and talk about the more interesting side of this for the fantasy football landscape. So I think everybody already knew this, but obviously they're going to keep Justin Fields and not draft a quarterback. That was all smokescreen. I think everyone was pretty aware of that going into this offseason. But hey, it seemed to work out because they got an absolute haul for it. So they're still going to have the 9th overall pick, and they definitely could draft a wide receiver here, like everyone kind of thought they would, but now they have DJ Moore, so now they're not quite as needy for a wide receiver, but it definitely is still a possibility. But there's so many holes on that team that they could really go any which way. They also have another 2nd round pick this year, so they could use that there, but overall this is an absolute win for the Bears. They did get a weapon for Justin Fields that everybody knew that he needed, got DJ Moore, which is a massive upgrade from any receiver on the team. Darnold movie now obviously moves to the 2, could move to the 3 if they pick up somebody else, which I think is a lot more where he's suited for. So there's not really much to be said about Mooney here. He definitely kind of becomes not super fantasy relevant. Unless Justin Fields can take that Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts step forward, then maybe he could be. But I think Mooney's pretty much just going to be like a streaming wide receiver 3 low end guy. I do think this probably is a net positive overall for DJ Moore. It used to be the very common narrative that when wide receivers switch teams, then they just aren't normally the same people that they have been. Although we haven't really seen DJ Moore be like an elite wide receiver ever. But if you do watch his talent on the field, you can see that he is a very, very good wide receiver. So I think this is overall going to be a net positive for him because he had always seemed to disappoint. And now he's a clear wide receiver 1 here with a quarterback who is very talented, although we haven't quite seen the passing ability with him yet. But having somebody like DJ Moore is absolutely going to help out with that. And I know we talked a lot about this in some other videos of these running quarterbacks getting wide receivers, like I just mentioned with Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen when they got Stephon Diggs, when they got AJ Brown, even Tua, who like he wasn't that good. He got Tyreek Hill, just became a different person. All of those guys got so much help when they got those new wide receivers, and this could be a very similar case. Now, I don't think DJ Moore is on the level of any of those guys that I had just mentioned, but he is a massive upgrade from anyone that Justin Fields has played with yet in his entire career. Clear-cut wide receiver one here. There's just no question about that. He's by far the best on the team. So I think he's going to be valuable for fantasy. He's not going to be up in that tier of the other guys who have been traded, like AJ Brown, like Stephon Diggs, like Tyreek Hill. He'll probably be about a mid wide receiver too, if I had to guess. I don't want to overreact too much, but we've seen lately when a team trades for a wide receiver, they're doing that for a reason, and that's to integrate him into their offense. So I think that he is going to be good this year. I don't think he's going to be a league winner by any means, although, I mean, crazier things for sure have happened, but I think he's going to be very valuable for fantasy and a good player to have. Probably will have some inconsistencies just given Justin Fields still, growing and learning and not being a high volume thrower, but overall net positive for DJ Moore. Moving on to Justin Fields, pretty much the same thing, just absolute net positive for him. I don't want to overreact and say he's going to be a for sure like top 3 quarterback or anything, but I think what it really does is more just solidified where he was being drafted and kind of where I already had him ranked. If you watch my most recent ranking videos, I had him at my quarterback 5 right now, ahead of Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson, just given all those question marks. And what I really think that does is just make me feel really, really comfortable about having him there, because he was already basically performing at that level last year when he didn't have DJ Moore. So there's no reason to think with another year in the system, a whole offseason to get integrated with DJ Moore, and just another year getting better at playing football and learning how to read NFL defenses, there's just every reason why he should be at least as good as he was this past year, where he finishes the quarterback 6. So I think I feel very comfortable with having him there at the quarterback 5. If you want to put him ahead of Joe Burrow at the quarterback 4, I can get behind that, although it is just a little bit worrisome. I think Joe Burrow is going to be much safer on a week-to-week basis, but I do think Justin Fields probably has the higher upside. And if T. Higgins does get traded, then I think even more reason for him to be above Joe Burrow, but I don't really think that's going to happen at this point. So I think everyone honestly comes out kind of as winners. I guess Darnell Mooney is kind of a loser in this situation, but if they don't really add anybody in the draft for this offseason and this offense takes a massive step forward, then it could be a positive upgrade for Darnell Mooney, since the offense would just be a lot better. But it's not something that I'm really predicting going to happen, but I do think that it is a relative net positive for DJ Moore and Justin Fields. And I think it's good for the Carolina Panthers to just start fresh and get a new go at it, because it has been ugly for the past couple of years, and I think this is probably the right move for them to do. And that's not even to mention the Bears having all those new draft picks, which they can do so much with, and they definitely need. So I think the Bears are definitely on the up and up. Pretty exciting young team, so I can't really wait to see what happens, but I just want to get on here really quick, talk about my initial thoughts on this. These could definitely change as this happened within the last hour or so. I don't know exactly what time this video is going to be uploaded, but I just wanted to talk about it really quickly and get my thoughts out there. Let me know what you guys think about it, what y'all disagree with, what you guys agree with. If there's anything else that I missed regarding this trade. I'm going to try to keep updating on any big transactions that happen, like the Lamar Jackson situation, Aaron Rodgers. If anything happens there, I'll try to get a video out as fast as I can. All right. Thank you guys. See y'all in the next video. Later.